Well, what we learned, everybody, a second ago is that the chemistry bug is still here and it can still glitch out for whose chemistry is good, whose chemistry is bad. And I don't like that, and it's scary, and I hate it. I'm going to do one more check of Jack Thompson, because right now it says even, but if we go back, it might say -3 again, which is very annoying. Let's see. Nope, he's fine. Okay, well, let's piss off the team again, and we will send McCarthy down to the AHL and piss off everybody, as I mentioned. But at least that way, he can still play in the AHL. He get half a season worth of NHL experience. Everything should be fine. So best lines, oh my god, menu lag. Best lines in the AHL, because obviously some overalls would have changed quite a bit throughout the season. We'll get Rohrer back in there. And then defensively, McCarthy's now in with Wyatt Kaiser. And goalie-wise, still looking good. Cool. So Lincoln Lone Sharks. Looking very nice. Very evil. And unfortunately for Philip Gustafson, you will be getting no blimp full of money. You are going to be out on your ass with a new team as of February 28th, unless he changes his tune and figures out how to stop pucks again. But at this point, my offer and how much I'm willing to give him just declined by a significant amount, because I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if you're worth that money. I'm starting to think that you're not. You're playing behind a marvelous defense, and our defense is technically going to be worse next year because J.J. Moser is going to be gone. You see how that works. So, Phil, you're playing for a contract here, buddy. At least a contract from the penny pinchers, because we don't like handing out that big money. We don't like it. That's not what we do here. I'm going to stop the sim actually a little bit before the 27th to just see one more time what some of these guys with expiring deals are looking for, as we are continuing to hover around that second wildcard spot. Back-to-back wins, make it 3 in a row. With all the bugs in EA games, did he not care? Is it a struggle to edit players? I mean, it is a struggle to edit players in Madden. It's simply a matter of yearly releases. That's what it is, right? Now, I get it. People be like, it's EA, they have all the money in the world, and they do. But it doesn't mean that they allocate all that money in the world to their dev teams. So in the case of NHL, with something like that chemistry glitch being there, it's, hey, here's all these other problems with the game. Also, you're still working on, some of you at least, are still working on maintaining NHL 24, and you're also working on NHL 26. That's the problem. So something like the chemistry glitch, it's just so low. And as Frank mentioned, you fix the chemistry glitch in the code, what's that going to affect? Is that going to break something else? Because then you got to test that. It's a mess. It's a mess. Like, the fact is, you know, most dev teams are working on 2, if not 3 games at the same time. 1 maintenance, 2 trying to adjust the live game while also still working on the next one. It's a horrible, awful system, and it's amazing that the floor hasn't completely dropped out. Some might argue that it has, based on the quality of some of these games over the last couple of years. It is honestly a fucking miracle that these games work at all. Genuinely. It is a fucking miracle that these games don't just crash the second you load them up. And I'm not saying that to excuse some of the shortcomings of these games. Oh my god, Misa's already an 84, dude. Well, enjoy Michael Misa for the next 2 years, because this motherfucker's gone the second he starts asking for a real contract. The problem is, he might not be an 84, but he would still be probably an 80 at the end of the first season. But good lord. Kaner, you were here 2 days ago. What the hell are you talking about? Luotz-Storinen, oh my god. Luotz-Storinen's developed Magnetic and Big Rig. Michael Rasmussen developed Shutdown and Magnetic. He has developed all 5 abilities this season. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. Luotz-Storinen, 48 points in 59 games. Misa has 38 in his rookie year, but that -12 could cost him the Calder. He's got to figure out that plus minus. Wallstrom, 18 goals, 5 assists. Fucking Peary's back in town. 13 and 29 for Rasmussen. 19 and 24 for Pinto. Evangelista's doing well. Almost 50 points. 28 for Turcotte. 26 for Ratu. 24 for Olesen. So it's literally just, for the most part, the defense. Moser, 35 points. Drysdale over 30. Sandin's been okay. Haig. So literally it's just been the goaltending. It's literally just the fact that Philip Gustafsson hasn't been stopping pucks, which is nuts. Why won't they rebuild from the ground up? That being EA. Money. Even though, and again, Hughes, the deal with this, we have limitations on how much we can sign players to. The deal is money. Like, even though we now have proof, like the word is out about college football 25, that it is like the highest selling football game in the past like 25 years or some shit. It's crazy. Even though you have that evidence of taking a game, building it from scratch, yes, they have a lot of stuff shared from Madden, but building it from scratch, taking that time to make a more polished product, putting it out, you have two choices when it comes to capitalism. You could have a lot of people pay a little amount for something, or you can have a smaller amount of people pay a lot for something. That is what they do. That is what you are seeing in sports in general, not just with video games. You are seeing that in terms of the conversation of fans being priced out of going to live games. They would rather have the fewer people who can spend more money do that over making a better product that more people would spend, that more people would buy. They would rather stick with the yearly release schedule. We know these people are going to buy it. It's a smaller amount, but they're going to pump money into Ultimate Team, and we're still going to make an incredible amount of money. Until you see change, and until the revenue drops, they're not going to switch to the other one. Until sports leagues see that fans are not willing to pay the exorbitant prices for lesser products, they are not going to make games more affordable for people to go to. Like, every issue that's going on with sports right now, whether it be the actual games, the video games, it's all intertwined. And for EA, the bigwigs at EA, trust me, I know for a fact the members of that dev team for this game and all the fucking sports games would love that extra year to make these games that much better. I know for a fact. But the bottom line is they make enough money from the yearly releases, the hype cycle that comes out, and Ultimate Team whales that just pump money into the game, that it's not worth it for them to take a year or two off in between games to make an even better product. Why would we do that? We're already making this much money. So it's the same reason why, if you want to go to a Leafs game, if you're a lower middle class person, even a middle class person, you might get to one a year, if that. Why? Because people that do have that income that they can just throw are willing to do so. So these teams, these companies are saying, okay, we're going to cater to that clientele. That's just what it is. That's what it is. It works that way in the fucking NBA, the NHL, the fucking UFC. That's just the way it works. And the video games mirror that attitude. So it's not going to change because that's a symptom of capitalism. It just is. It just is. And yeah, it's not ideal, right? It's not ideal. And in a lot of ways, we have had less pushback to those ideas, that it's rampant at this point in North America. Europe, in the sporting scene, they've done a little bit of a better job. It's still there, but they've done a little bit of a better job, right? I think of a club like Liverpool. Whenever there is plans to raise ticket prices, people get out in the fucking streets and protest. That doesn't happen here. In North America, we just say, oh, fuck it, whatever, I guess I'll deal with it. And then before you know it, the average person is priced out of being able to go to games. You know, I listened to a wrestling podcast by the name of Post Wrestling, and one of the hosts on there was talking about how he'd love to be able to even just take his son to a Raptors game, let alone the fucking Vince Carter jersey retirement game. Good fucking luck. There's no way. And honestly, like, I do wonder how parents of younger kids feel right now. Where it's like, most people can't afford to have those moments of like, yeah, family night out at the game. At least not for major sports. That's what minor league sports are for at this point. Take your family out to the game and have fun. But if you want to see the best basketball players in the world, the best NHL players in the world, we are demanding that you pay a premium. That's what sports are right now. And it fucking sucks. That's just a fact. It fucking sucks. Don't get me wrong. The fucking experience and the bang for your buck, yeah, it's fucking sweet. Like, it's no secret, right? Like, when I got to go to Seattle with the whole EA Community Day thing, they fucking hooked us up at a Kraken preseason game. And yeah, it's a sick fucking experience. Would I ever pay for that experience on my own? Fuck no. I have a mortgage to pay. But yeah, it's greed within a capitalistic system. But as long as they're still making money, it's going to happen, you know? And in some instances, though, the issue becomes from like a video game. The difference is from a real world sports perspective and a video game perspective. The difference is that from a video game perspective, the bigwigs, you know, if it's a sports team, if it's Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, and all of a sudden people aren't coming to Leafs games, oh, okay, let's lower the prices, whatever, get people into the door. For an example, it's not going to happen because of all the corporate bullshit surrounding the Leafs, but you get it. But if a video game starts hemorrhaging money in a player base and it's not making a profit, it's almost more likely to be fucking axed than it is to make that major adjustment of a year between games or moving to a subscription service or something like that. So that's probably the fear with a game like this. Or, you know, San Diego Studios with MLB, for example, if they were like, hey, we want to kind of start taking a year off, the MLB will probably be like, EA, will you do yearly releases? Cool, we're going to sign with you instead. And we'll find the person who is willing to do things the way we want to do it in terms of, well, here's how people are making money. Hope you enjoyed the rant. Philip Gustafson. You, sir, have a 901 save percentage in a contract year, a year in which I was considering giving you a lot of money. Funny enough, you have now dropped the asking price of what you want, which is very funny to me. But I don't know if I want to sign you to that, buddy. I don't know if I do. If you were putting up last year's numbers, I think I'd be down. You had 5 shutouts in 64 games behind a lesser team. You have no shutouts in 45 games. Your save percentage is much worse. Your goals against average is much worse. You've already allowed more goals, almost allowed more goals this year than you did last year in 19 less games. I mean, I guess you could say 35 goals isn't that close, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Defensively, Moser. Oh, he gone. But the good news, his asking price has gone up. We're going to get better compensation. None of that. Miscellaneous ticket fees are ridiculous. Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I mean, you almost have to factor in at least a third, if not almost half the cost of the ticket just with fucking fees. It's insane. Ozzy Weissblatt keeps getting better, to be honest, maybe too good. I mean, as a third liner, I like him a lot. I like him as a fourth liner, not necessarily a third liner. Wallstrom. I don't know about you, man. I don't know. You don't shoot the puck enough to be a top-notch sniper. You do have more or as many goals this year as you did last year. But still, that's gotta be Kane. Coming in with the ball. Thank you, Kane. Welcome in. Welcome in. And then centers were okay. Dude, we're so gonna lose Michael Misa. We are so going to lose Michael Misa. Honestly, we could ditch Wallstrom I mean, 18 goals, that's not too bad. But we could ditch Wallstrom to make room on a higher line for Weissblot. I don't know if I want Ozzy on a higher line, but maybe. I mean, as a grinder, though, he is pretty good. And then we could call up... oh, that's right, I traded the other guy. Shit. I mean, we could call up Blake Wheeler for the rest of the season. Although technically he's one of our cap wheels. I mean, we could put Olsen over there. Right. I think goalie-wise, we know that we're going to move on. But I want to see what the market is a week out from the deadline. For oh my God, Luostarinen and Rasmussen's trade value have skyrocketed. That's crazy. Oops. Look at the goalies. Gustafson's value, it's probably worth flipping him. Wow, Ivankovic's gone up 10 points in the OHL this season. Holy, because he and Daig were identical. Yeah, Gustafson's gone. If old Ivankovic is going to get that much better, apparently on an 885 save percentage, yeah, we're going to be looking at him. White Cloud McNabb in a 6th. Ooh, okay, maybe the market for Gus isn't that good, but we're definitely going to be looking at it. Is there a good market for Moser? Anderson will still be too expensive, too. So, Fiddler. Fiddler on the roof getting better. Okay. Right wing side. Wallstrom's not going to fetch us much. We'll have to make some decisions, but dude, the fact that Misa's already an 84 is nuts. That is nuts. But all right, let's get to the deadline here. We might still make the playoffs, but it will not be with Philip Gustafsson as our goaltender. I'm willing to flip him and find just a decent enough backup for the rest of the season. Shouldn't be a big deal. Not at all. We'll list ourselves as conservative sellers, I suppose. But to the trade deadline we go. Vince Dunn, John Carlson. I mean, these guys are making too much money. Matheson could technically be a rental, but we're probably fine. So in goal, Gustafsson, you got to go. No trades found. We're going to have to find a manual trade for Gus, which is not ideal. That is just a lot of trade value we'd be leaving on the line here. Is there a team that needs a goalie or even a backup goalie? I mean, technically, like, we could take Dan Vladar. How's Dan Vladar done this year? Okay, Dan Vladar in Calgary could work. Yeah, we don't really want, like, this long-term goalie. We don't want to log jam them up for Drew Comesso. Then again, Calgary, they probably wouldn't want Gustafsson long-term either. Shesterkin goes to Columbus all the time. All the time. 10.8 for 7 years. He goes to Columbus all the time. Ottinger, they got the Smith signed. Is there a good fit? Wow, cost is up to an 83. Jesus. Skinner and Pickard. Pickard and Skinner's deal. Okay, Edmonton. How's Skinner doing this year? 917, Pickard a 918. I mean, they really wouldn't need a goalie then. Bobrovsky, Dreger, Knight. Kemper, Portillo, Riddick. Is there a team that needs a goalie? It doesn't really look like it. Jacob Fowler's developing fast for Montreal. Saros, Wedgwood. How's Wedgwood doing? 903. He is on an expiring deal. Nashville could technically work. Nashville's probably the best shout so far. Apparently Caden Primo went to the Islanders. He's up a point. Quick sign for another year. Mark Sjogard's ready to go in Ottawa. I think we have our one team that at least makes sense. Askarov's already up to an 84. Or Grubauer. Bennington Lyon, but they have
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking grass.
Shout out to Cabela. Oh, I think I read that right. Somewhat corner of my eye. Tampa. They got Alnefeld. How's Alnefeld doing as a backup? He's been good. He's been in Syracuse, though. Interesting. I think we got the one team that really makes sense. I mean, if no one's outright interested, I at least got to send into a team that makes sense. Yeah, so that team happened to be Nashville just to kind of shore up their goaltending. And honestly, I mean, the Rangers, that's fair too, but they do have Varlamov and Quick signed for a decent amount of time. They also got Dylan Garand in the system. The Rangers would make some sense too. They are wheeling and dealing picks. Yeah, that's fair. Maybe the Rangers would work. I'm not paying Varlamov and Quick that much, and Quick might retire. Dude, they have dealt almost everything. I mean, if I could get a first-round pick for Gus, I'm feeling pretty good about that. Can I get some safety net tack-ons here? What if we take out that 5th rounder? Take out that 6th rounder? Take out 1/7? Straight up, Gus for a first? What if I retain salary on him for the year? Because I can. I have the space. I mean, we're not going to keep him. He hasn't played his way into a contract. And honestly, I can take either Varlamov or Quick. I wouldn't mind taking Jonathan Quick as a 1-year backup. That's fine. Yeah, can I take Jonathan Quick? All right, we're going to have to give up a little bit, but at least Quick can be our backup this year. What if we give you a 4th-round pick from Chicago? Quite far off. Really? I don't believe you. 2 4th-rounders. Okay, I guess we are farther apart than I thought. Let's see. The Vancouver 3rd. I mean, this will still be worth it to get a 1st-round pick out of it. It's just a bit more pricey than I wanted. Way more pricey than I wanted. Jesus. A bit off. It should be able to be Gus in 2/3 for a 1st and Jonathan Quick. 2/3 and a 4th. There we go. All right. Gustafson's on his way to the Rangers. We get another 1st-round pick. That'll be our 3rd this year. And the goaltending for the rest of the season is going to be Blomqvist and Quick. And again, then Ivankovic he's developing very quickly. Very quickly. Defensively, we're going to bank on Moser to get offer sheeted in the next offseason because we'll get more in return for him. And then our top 4 defense is pretty stellar. Got someone like Osborne developing pretty quickly, too. Right wing side. How happy is Ozzy being on the 4th line? He's happy. I mean, he's not. It's a problem we'll probably have to solve in the future. I think we can get away then with keeping Wahlstrom, at least for the rest of the year. Stranges, though, is a tough one. Technically, we could move Pinto to the right. Go Misa, Ratu, Stranges. Pinto, Evangelista. Olesen. How's Olesen done again? 13 and 11. That's not bad. And he still has room to develop. I think Wahlstrom's going to be on the outs here. He does have 18 goals. But I just don't think he's going to be able to take that step up. Oh, shit, he actually has 19. Trade Wahlstrom to develop brute force. Meggett's fine. I think the Nashville deal would have been about the same. So yeah, if we go Misa, Ratu, Stranges, we'll need a fourth line center, but that's fine. Pinto on the right, Evangelista, Weissblatt on the fourth. So it's either Wahlstrom as the third line right wing or Olesen, and obviously we choose Olesen over Wahlstrom. Yeah, that's the way it's got to be. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about trading Wahlstrom because maybe, just maybe, with those goals, he will take that step up. I mean, but I'm okay. Stranges actually dropped back down to a depth forward. We're okay then. We should be able to balance this and make everybody happy for now. Okay. Okay. Well, then I think we're okay. The big thing was just getting rid of Gustafsson. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody else to worry about then. It's just what's going to happen with J.J. Moser in the future. That means heading into the draft, 3 first-round picks. Strong jizz, but I'm the dude. I don't care how strong his jizz is. Okay? The old strong yeesh. Antonio Stranges. There you go. That's how it's being pronounced the rest of the way. Or I might even call him Antonio Strong Jizz. Right? Strong Jizz. Old Antonio Strong Jizz. There you go. The Jizzler. That's his name from now on. Old Jizzy J. There you go. Anyway. Yeah, we're done here. I don't think there's anybody, like any of the big names we have to necessarily go after. Dunn's too expensive. Carlson's deal is up. Matheson will be too expensive. Anderson will be too expensive. We don't need someone like Trocheck right now. I mean, we're trying to develop players, not cause more of a logjam of talent. So I think for the moment we are okay. Vasily Podkolzin is on waivers, and that's not a bad player to pick up. Sure. We'll take on Podkolzin for the rest of the year. All right. So looking. Goalies now, Blomqvist and Quick. That's good. Defense, Moser, Haig, Drysdale, Harris, Sandin, and Thompson. It's also good. Osborne taking a big step up, though. Podkolzin will have to be a healthy scratch, unfortunately. And old Strong Jizz probably the one that it takes out, but I think we'll be all right. I do want to call up Blake Wheeler. We're not going to play him, but I at least want him there so that the AI doesn't play him, you know? Daniel, I actually haven't watched it yet. I need to. I'm always binge once the season's over type of person now. Unless that is the way it's set up, in which case nobody told me. This AHL team's looking pretty good on paper. And NHL-wise, okay, it did reset everything, which is okay. Let's get Wheeler out for Wahlstrom. Weissblatt back to the fourth line. It does play Pinto on the right, which is what we wanted. Or it was an option, at least. It's not a bad one, either. It does make that right side a bit stronger, but you know what? I do want to see what Wahlstrom's capable of. I do want to see. Those 19 goals. I don't really want to sacrifice Evangelista for it, though. So yeah, Luot-Starinen, Misa, Evangelista, Rasmussen, Pinto, Wahlstrom, Turcotte, Ratu, Olesen, Järventie, Strong-Jizz, and Ozzy Weissblatt. It's not a bad team, given what we started with. And now apparently Jack Thompson's a -1 again. Who knows? It actually bumps. Oh, that's why it bumped Jordan Harris up. Harris is really getting better. God damn. And then we'll see what Blomqvist is capable of. He's been the better of the two goalies so far this year. I'll trust the power plays then to just be what they are. And we will see if this team is capable of making it to the playoffs. Were there any big trades? Jake McCabe to Tampa. Melvini on the move to Utah. Ryan Poehling to Winnipeg. Anthony Mantha to the Habs for Alex Newhook. Okay. Eyes Wozniak on the move. Patrick Kane's a Ranger again. Bjorkstrand to Chicago. Lingsloan Borgo to Columbus. Jack Quinn dealt to Colorado. Connor Clifton to the Sharks. Athanasiou to Vancouver. Tarasenko to Minnesota. Alec Martinez to Boston for Dean. No. Oh, Don's back at it again. Drunk trading. Martinez a third and Cole Gutman for Dean Letourneau, Ryan Mast, and fucking I think it's Phil Svetaback. Oh my god. That would break Boston sports radio. Provorov is a Shark. Gavrikov to Utah. JT Compher to Vegas. Eyes Wozniak got traded twice. The Islanders got Zach Whitecloud and Braden McNabb. Ben Danford to the Kraken in a deal that sends Larson to Toronto. Sonny Milano to Carolina. And Matt Roy kicked it off by getting traded to Florida. Some interesting deals there, to say the least. But, all right, let's see. Are we a playoff team? We are currently in that second wild card spot. But we'll see if asking Blomqvist to be the starting goalie is just a little bit too much for him. There is a very strong chance of that being the case. And I mean, Jonathan Quick being the backup is also pretty scary. Multiple people got traded twice. That's an EA staple, isn't it? We finally get our first win post-deadline. Actually, our second win. I didn't notice that we beat the Bruins. Beat the Rangers as well. Still in a... Oh, my God. It's going to be from the Metro if we lose our spot. As long as we don't lose the 8th seed to the Rangers, we should be okay. Make that 5 wins in a row for the Pinchers. Oh, my God. 7 wins in a row for the Pinchers. 8 wins in a row and finally an overtime loss. Another overtime loss. The point streak finally ends against Detroit. Oh my God, we just missed. We just missed. It was so close. Oh, that's crazy. I thought we had it. How didn't we? After a hot streak like that to end the season. 90 points. We missed out on tiebreaker with Ottawa taking the spot. 1 difference in ROW. We missed out on tiebreaker. Ottawa heads to the postseason. What a year for the Pinchers, but not good enough. Damn, man. We just missed out. So close. Fair enough, tiebreaker. Toronto wins the President's Trophy. Were we the top team to miss the playoffs? No, that was Dallas, which is good. We have Dallas as first. And it looks like the Rangers also missed the playoffs. So we have 3 lottery picks, if I'm not mistaken, in the first round this year. As the Tampa Bay Lightning were in the basement. Goals for per game, we were somewhere in the middle. Goals against, somewhere in the middle. Power play percentage, 3rd worst in the NHL. And the penalty kill was the best in the league. God damn. We were so close. Overall this year, Luke Evangelista led the way with 65 points. Luos Turin was 63. He did hit 40 assists to develop Silver Third Eye. He is a monster. Rasmussen, 58 points and now a full house of abilities. Michael Misa, 57 points as a rookie. Will the -9 screw him out of the Calder? Shane Pinto, 56 points. Ratu with 40. Shercott, 36. Oldison, 35. Old Strong Jizz at 33. Wallstrom, 25 goals, 7 assists. 17 points for Ozzy, 14 for Yarventi. And, of course, Bolt Colson never played a game for us. Defensively, 44 points for Drysdale, 43 for Moser, 25 for Sandine, 21 for Haig. Harris at 19, and Jack Thompson with 9. How did he do for us? 9 points in 44 games. Okay. I guess the Sharks never played him. They just tried to put him through waivers. And in terms of goaltending, how did Jonathan Quick do once he got here? 4 games? He was phenomenal. Blomqvist, though, as a starter, his save percentage did drop. So, around the league, your top point getter was very easily Connor McDavid. You also had Matthews, Marner, Hyman, Draisaitl, and David Pasternak all breaking at least 100 points. Shout out to Morgan Riley, apparently. Holy shit. But for goal scorers, Pasta, Matthews, McDavid all hit 60. Nobody else hit 50. Cole Iserman. Islander legend. Cole Iserman. 44 goals. Well, we know who the rookie of the year is. And it's not Michael Misa. Fuck. All right. Defensively, we knew that Riley had a hell of a season. Yossi was great. Makar, Noah Dobson, Quinn Hughes, all at least a point per game. Tremendous season for Gustav Forsling. Jesus. In terms of the goaltending, the winningest, Stolars, Bobrovsky, Sorokin, and Skinner all hit at least 40 wins. Your shutout leader with 9 was Columbus Blue Jackets legend Igor Shesterkin. And your save percentage king was Wallstead. You also had Ingram up there. That might be enough to win the Vezina. Tristan Jarry could be the favorite as well. Stuart Skinner in the mix, too. For the rookies, yep, that's Cole Eiserman's award. Misa never had a chance. Plus minus did not cost him because he was up against Demidov and Cole Eiserman, who was going to win this in a landslide with that plus minus. But good rookie season for Misa. But, yeah, Demidov and Eiserman were just on an absolute different level. No doubt about that. Really quickly, the AHL team. Lone Sharks have made the playoffs. Led by the 49 points of Chase Wheatcroft. So we know that the Lone Sharks are heading to the playoffs for the first time. They draw the Laval Rocket, the 57-win Laval Rocket in the first round. We'll go best lines to see if it changes anything based on player development this year. And, yeah, we should pretty much be good to go. I mean, the team is definitely looking better. There was a good amount of development this year, but we'll see what the Lincoln Lone Sharks, the Lone Shacks, are capable of in their first trip to the playoffs. And, yeah, we'll take it from there. We got an off season coming up, as we do. And Lincoln loses their first ever playoff game. They get their first ever playoff win. And the Lone Sharks knock off the Laval Rockets. The Laval Rocket. Antonio Strongjes. They draw the Toronto Marlies. God, it's been a day for me. In the second round, 2-1 Marlies, 3-1 Marlies, and say goodbye to the Lone Sharks. They beat one Canadian team, couldn't beat the other. Poor Lincoln. All right. Well, we'll see how the Stanley Cup playoffs pan out then. as this season is approaching its end. We'll see what's up. Got Edmonton and Colorado in the Western Conference Final. All right. Toronto and the Islanders on the other side. Jesus Christ. Edmonton and New York again. 2 years in a row to kick off a franchise that we get Oilers, Islanders, and it looks like it's going to be back-to-back cups for the Edmonton Oilers to kick us off as the Marlies went all the way to win the Calder Cup. 2 years in a row now for Edmonton. The pain was worth it, Connor. That's 2 cups in a row. Both over the Islanders, which is hilarious. Winnipeg, what's up, man? That's crazy. What a bizarre back-to-back final to kick off a franchise. There's a chance Zach Hyman won the Conn Smythe. That is for sure. Let's see. Bunny, take it easy, by the way. Yeah, I mean, pretty much the big names that you would expect to lead the Oilers did lead the Oilers. But the Islanders, dude, the development of Cole, Jesus Christ. He was an 85 2 minutes ago. And now he's an 89 with 3 other abilities. I will admit, I do enjoy in franchise when somebody that it's like, yeah, they'll probably be good. It's just like, nope, I'm a superstar for this team. And Cole Yzerman is going to be a stud for the Islanders in this series now. Good Lord. Wow. Damn. I didn't notice him being that good in the other franchises we've done this year. But there you go. Back-to-back cups for the Oilers. Connor McDavid wins the Art Ross and the Hart Trophy. Morgan Riley wins the Norris, which is funny because he can't play defense. Mitch Marner wins the Bing. Cole Yzerman, of course, wins the Calder. Zach Hyman, back-to-back Conn Smythe trophies. Oh, but how much money did his dad have when he was growing up? Stuart Skinner wins the Vezina, as well as the Jennings with Calvin Pickard. Masterton to Mikey Anderson. Anaheim's coach wins the Jack Adams. Sasha Barkov wins the Selke. McDavid to Ted Lindsay. And Pasternak another Rocket Richard. In the AHL, Danil Yurov put up the most points for Iowa. Tomas Nosek was the MVP for Syracuse. Yurov also scored the most goals. While I do not remember your first name, I think it's Grayson Sachin, isn't it? I think so. It's something weird. Sachin was the top rookie. Mr. Villain was the top defenseman. Tremendous hair. Old Dobes, the Montreal goalie who's going to be better than Carey Price. Because that's what Habs fans say about every goalie prospect, is he's the next god. And Tverberg, old Teverberg, was your MVP of the playoffs. Jumper, not sure yet. Not sure. We'll see. I do enjoy the game still. But busy times. Busy times and a lot of games to play. So, all right. Let's take a look at some progress reports, shall we? Because I do still feel like this was a good year for us. Moser, up to an 89, has developed 3 more abilities. Again, we're going to lose him, but he is a top 2 defenseman now. 4 first-round picks for J.J. Moser is possible. That's the big hope for the offseason. Luot Starinen also developed Big Tipper. He's a star for us, no doubt. Jamie Drysdale has developed really well. Nick Hague has no contest and bounce back. Holy hell, he's a beast. Rasmussen still with his full house of abilities. Sandin looking good. There's no shot in hell of us keeping Michael Misa. He's already a second-line forward. He developed Spinorama as well. We have him for 2 more years, and then he's gone. Jordan Harris still looking good. Evangelista still looking all right. Pinto, not much development. Turcotte, Ratu, Olesen. I mean, we're definitely getting some player development. It's just a matter of what guys are we going to try to lock down to these long-term contracts. Some of these guys haven't had a ton of development. Gleb Trikozov did really well this year. Stiga, Kevin He, Malcolm Spence. I mean, yeah, we got some players in the system here, that's for sure. Again, Jack Ivankovic went up like 10 points. Insane season for him. So I feel really good about what we already have in the system. We have a lot of draft picks coming up. Dude, Gabriel Daig didn't get better at all? Jesus, that's okay. It's a good thing we drafted both goalies, I guess. Damn. Okay. Well, again, the good thing is we already have draft picks. And we're going to get more in the offseason. But the big question, we have 3 lottery picks. Will it go our way this year? No, it will not. So, we end up with pick number 10, courtesy of the New York Rangers and the Gustafsson trade. We have pick number 16, our own, and pick number 17, courtesy of Dallas. But that does give us maneuverability in terms of trading, as the LA Kings were the ones to win the lottery this year. So a big-time draft coming up. Corey Perry's gone, Ryan Suter, Bonino, Eric and Jack Johnson, Riley Nash, Matt Martin in goal, Jonathan Quick retired. That's what I was hoping for, to be honest, just to get rid of that contract. Have fun in the Hall of Fame, Mr. Quick. So we have some questions to answer, but while this is going to be a big off season for us, I'm feeling pretty good about it. But yeah, how much money does JJ Moser want? 4 first-round picks for Moser is very, very possible. It's not a guarantee, but it is possible.